Hey guys, this is Keith with KJ Aquatics, and this morning I got a new box of plants right here, and I'm going to be opening it up and showing you what I got. So far, I got my buddy Jorge here. What's up? What's up, George? I got I got the stuff to finish off your order. Definitely. So I'm gonna once I get done with this, I'm gonna get the stuff boxed up, and I'll get it processed and in the mail today. So you should get that. It'll go more than likely priority mail. Um, so usually 2 to 3 days if the post office does what they're supposed to do. But anyway, yeah. So for people watching and lurking, what's up, Shady Grady? Um, my fish tank aquatics, what's happening? RLC Aquatics, hello. Let's see if we get a few other people in here before I start opening this up. So, anyways, yeah, I got just to reiterate, I just got a box of plants in. Whiskey Charlie, hello. Elite Menagerie, hello. And the stuff I already uploaded the inventory on the website. So website's kjeaquatics.com. So you can find the inventory, but hold off a little bit before you place your order because sometimes the plants don't always come in pristine. Most of the time they do, but there is, sometimes you have plants that aren't pristine. It happens with fish too. Sometimes you get DOA. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start unboxing this because I got more stuff to do today. And we'll get this open. Put that back. Put that over here. Let's see. Hopefully all the stuff's good. The weather right now for shipping plants is like perfect. This is perfect weather. It's not too cold, not too hot. The cold, don't ever worry about plants being cold. Plants are perfectly fine cold. Using heat packs with plants actually does more harm to them than good. And same way with using cold packs with plants. The nursery that I deal with uses cold packs in the summertime, but I told them for my orders to stop doing it because more times than not, they damage the plants. So I don't use heat or cold packs with plants. So, all right. Gonna pull some random bags out. None of this stuff here was special ordered, except I did have to order some stuff in to fill Mexicali's order. So the first thing, I'll show what I had to order in. He ordered some Brazilian pennywort from me last week, and I had some in stock because that's what the website said, but it didn't look good enough to fill an order. So I talked to him, and he said instead of refunding it, just hold off, and when you get it in, to send it. So that's what we did. And these actually look pretty nice. So this is Brazilian pennywort. Jorge, when you get this, sniff it. Don't snort it, but sniff it. And to me, this is like one of the best smelling aquarium plants. I don't know, call me weird, but this shit smells good. So Brazilian pennywort. Yeah. Yeah, I know I am weird sometimes, but it really does smell good. So, all right. You can see me all dressed up. It's freaking cold up here. I know Elite Menagerie was here. She's in my general region, so I'm sure it's cold down in Pennsylvania too. The fucking wind, man. Yeah, you're right. I am weird. The wind today and last night man, I bet you we had gusts like well over 50 miles per hour. There's like garbage down the street where people's garbage cans are knocked over and stuff. Pretty nuts. Next up is Cryptocarine undulata. Now I normally sell these potted, but these came in bare root, so I will pot these up. But this is Crypt undulata. It's a really nice crypt. It's really similar to Wentai, but under higher light. Crypts don't need highlight, but Crypt undulata sometimes under higher light conditions will get like a reddish color. So I really like crypts in general. Um, Here's one, another one that looks really cool. And then speaking about Wentai, this is a Wentai variant. This is Cryptocarine Wentai Brown, and he's not brown like doo-doo, but these are actually greenish color now. And then with higher light and good nutrition, these will get like a brownish bronze color. So right now they're greenish, but they'll get with like again with good lighting and good nutrients, they'll get a brownish bronze color. More bronze, I would say, not brown like doo doo. I don't even know why they call it brown. Um, Brown plants to me are like dead. These don't look dead. So, anyways, so what we got? I'm just scrolling up. Yep, yeah, definitely. That's one of the worst smells. So one of the best smells in the hobby is Brazilian pennywort. One of the worst smells is what Louise said right there. Friggin' dead. You get that shit on your hands and it don't come off. All right. And I saw some other people. What's up, Pep? I saw my buddy Dee here somewhere. Jennifer Weaver, hello. Get my 80 here. Oh, I think tomorrow we're supposed to get close to 60, so it's nuts. Like right now, it's not like super freezing, but it's in it's 29 or 30, but the wind is like howling outside, and so it just obviously it's gonna make it feel colder. But Keith is a sniffer. Yeah, Lady Rorschach. What's up, Jeff? So all right, let me get back to work. All right. Next up, stem plants. Get these while you can, because I ordered some of these in because I have an upcoming auction and a swap within the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to bring some stem plants there. But usually, for most stem plants, I bring them in the warmer months because I grow them outdoors. But since I have an auction coming up and I have a swap following that, I brought in just a little bit of stems, not many. So the first one is pretty common. It's Rotala indica. I did upload some on the website. It's sold per bunch. And I'm looking, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 stems in this bunch. So that's a pretty good deal. That's not always the same count. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You usually get a minimum of 4 stems, but they were a little bit more generous on these here. Let me count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one has 9. So that's pretty good. And when I order the stem plants in, I usually order them. This is an added cost for me, is the weight, the aquarium plant weight. But it keeps them from floating around. So that's how they bundle these up with the aquarium weight. So that's Rotala indica. Some people call it Rotala red. Hold on. I see Alishan's here. He said something. Alishan said he picked up some crypt Oosteriana at the Jersey. Oh, that's a really cool looking crypt, Alishan. I never see it on my nursery's list. So um, that's a pretty good score right there. Cool. Um, Big Easy, hello. If I miss you guys, don't get butt hurt. Jenna P, hello. All right, next up is another crypt. This is Cryptocrine lucens. I really like these crypts. I will pot these up when I sell them too. So this is Crypt lucens. It stays on the shorter side and has like a more narrow, smaller leaf. Not too big, but it'll stay on the shorter side. So depending on the tank size, this is for your larger tanks, this is actually a good foreground plant. If you got like a little bitty tank, like 2.5 or a 5 gallon, I would say probably mid ground. 10 gallon, probably foreground to mid ground. Well, anything bigger than a 10, I would say this is a good foreground plant. So Cryptocrine lucens. This is a stem plant I typically carry all year long. This is Bacopa monera, so moneywort is the common name. This plant, you can actually easily float it. And when it floats at the surface, you'll get, you could potentially get, it's not guaranteed, but you could potentially get some nice little white flowers. They're really tiny, but they're really cool looking. This plant does well. Tub season's coming up. This plant does really well in the Northeast outdoors, either floating or planting it. So this is a good one for your tubs as well as your aquariums. And it's relatively easy. Some people say they have a hard time with it, but it's for a stem plant, it's relatively easy. All my tanks are low tech, lower light, indoors, so I don't do a lot of stem plants. That's why you don't see me stock a lot of stem plants, just because I don't have the setup for it, nor the desire to set it up, if that makes sense. I try to keep everything that I sell easy for me and easy for the hobbyist. I don't try to get into no high tech, stuff. And if that's what you like, more power to you. It's just not something that I am that I like to do. So, and if you don't like doing something, you're not going to enjoy it. So always do something you enjoy. All right. That's why I'm running KJE and I'm not making more money doing what I used to do. I used to make pretty good money. Now I don't make shit doing KJE. But you know what? This is my business. I'm the boss. If I want to tell someone to F off, I can. Not that I always do that, but you know what? I don't have to answer to the man. This is my business, my job, and I enjoy it. So if you enjoy what you do, you're gonna like doing it. So if that makes sense, it should make sense. All right, this is Jenna P's favorite plant, and we got more in. This is the banana plant. You don't have to plant this. If you watched my streams in the past, I get this in, on a regular basis. All you do is drop it in the tank, and that's it. You don't have to plant it. These leaves here, they will get much taller and bigger. It's in the lily family, so they're gonna grow like lily type leaves. So banana plants are really cool. You've heard me say this before. These have been in the hobby since Alishan started in the hobby. So that's a long time. All right. Next up, another stem plant that we stock more often in the warmer months. This is a really common stem, and then this with nice lighting, good nutrients, will get nice and red. Like right now it's green, but with good lighting, this is the Wigia, dang it, not ovalis, the Wigia repens, sorry. This is the Wigia repens, and this is a common plant, but people ask me what is a good stem plant that gets red. This is one. if you have the proper lighting and the proper nutrients in the water. And you don't go by that myth where you need to add iron to the water to get your plants red. That's, you could look it up. Don't believe this dummy, but you don't need to actually add extra iron if you're using a quality fertilizer like Thrive. Not Thrive S, not Thrive C, but Thrive. We stock all of them, but just the regular Thrive has enough nutrients in it to provide what the plants need on all levels. All right. Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. All right. This is one I don't stock often, but I've stocked it in the past. This is Melon Swords. They had them available as a special at the nursery, so we ordered some in. These actually have some really nice root base, but this is a melon sword. These are grown immersed, meaning that these are grown above water. You can tell the difference in the sword plant when it's grown immersed above water versus submerged. How the leaves look. So when the leaves are a rounder shape like this, so more like a paddle kinda, I guess, they're immersed grown. When they convert, and they do convert easily, so don't be scared off about that. But when they convert, the leaves are going to be longer and more narrow. So that's how you tell the difference in sword plants between immersed grown and submerged. So whether you buy them from me, and they'll stay in the tank, if they convert by the time, before I sell them, then you'll get a converted sword, or you're going to get immersed grown. People ask me all the time if my plants are submerged or immersed, and I tell them it's both ways. So educate yourself on how the leaf shape looks on some of the plants, and then you could tell. And don't be scared. Don't be worried about buying plants that are immersed grown. And I'm not telling you that because that's the way I sell them. But all your local fish stores, almost all of your other retailers online are doing the same exact thing. All right. So don't be fooled into their nonsense, and never be fooled when someone tells you that their plants are 100% snail free. All right. That's the only way that's going to happen is if you're buying tissue cultured plants. So don't let them bullshit you on that either. All right. Lady Rorschach, I said hi. Hold on, I'm just scrolling up, guys and gals. Clay Wise, what's happening? Oh, you right there. Heflin says, I answer to nobody except my wife. You right there. And my wife's Puerto Rican, so I gotta be careful. So, all right. Let me scroll back down and get back to work. I see Sketty. What's happening, Sketty? And Chevy. Hello. Okay. So that was a pretty good haul. So far, so good. Oh, these mofos are big. I never hear that. All right. Okay. Next on the board is Sagittaria subulata narrow leaf. So this is not dwarf Sagittaria. I don't know why they don't make a different scientific name between the two, because they're both called Sagittaria subulata, but then this one is species narrow. The other one is species dwarf. So these will get a more narrow leaf. And again, going back to the immersed, and this is one of the most easiest plants to convert. Super easy. But I'll show you the difference, and I've talked about this in the past. But on the Sagittaria subulata, the leaf, it's skinny down here, When it's submerged grown, that it stays about that width down here. But when it's immersed grown, at the tip of the plant, you get this paddle. So this looks like something that you would row your canoe with. So you got the shaft there, and then you got the paddle at the end. All right, a little beaver tail right there. But this is Sagittarius subdolata narrowleaf. This will get taller generally versus dwarf Sagittaria, but I have seen dwarf Sagittaria grow taller than what you might expect. I've seen dwarf Sagittaria grow 8 to 10 inches. I've seen this stuff stay shorter than that, but this will get a little bit more narrow leaf versus regular regular dwarf Sag. So this Sagittarius subdolata narrow leaf. All right, the shaft. Yeah, I'm glad I could entertain you with my verbiage. All right, and then I will let you guys know that I didn't get very good grades in English in school, whether it was in high school or when I got an associate's. I just scraped by in English, so yeah, so I talk funny. Java ferns. These are actually some nice looking Java fern that looks like I got a little mix. I ordered just regular Java fern, which is fine, but it looks like I got some Java trident mixed in here. They're going to be sold as regular Java fern, but usually you don't get, you see how it has this little right here? It's hard to tell. But you have these lower leaves that are splitting off on the bottom. Regular Java fern, you normally don't get that. Regular Java fern is usually just one long narrow leaf. But this is, I'm going to sell it as regular Java fern, but it's actually nicer than that. So I think it might be trident. But anyways, it's on the website as Java fern. These actually are pretty nice pieces. So you get what you get. Yeah, the ticket just says Java fern. So all right, next up, red Reuben swords. Again, if you watch any of our unboxings and you hear me talk about sword plants, red Reubens are my favorite sword plant. They don't get huge compared to like an Amazon or like a Oriental or something like that. But as you're getting new leaf growth, the center of the plant's going to stay red, and then the older leaves are going to stay the greenish color. This is also one of the easiest sword plants, from my experience, to convert. So red Reubens, it's overall for swords. This is my personal favorite sword plant. All right, now this big long dong schlong. These are mangrove. They didn't have a bag big enough for these, and I don't know how I'm going to ship them. I might have to pull these off the website and just sell these local, because these are going to be a bitch to ship because they're so long. I mean, this is 2 foot long right here. I don't even know if I have a friggin' box for that. So I don't know. Anyways. This is red mangrove. These are sustainably grown. These aren't stripped from the wild because this plant is actually protected in Florida. But they're sustainably grown. This plant is really cool. You don't submerge this plant, but this plant is cool as in it only needs water, the roots wet. So I would say maybe 6 to 8 inches. You can go a little bit deeper, but maybe 6 to 8 inches here. Above the roots. I've had people try to argue with me and says it needs salt water. They grow in salt water naturally. But you know what? That's bullshit. All they need is water. It could be salt, fresh, or brackish. So you can grow these coming out the top of your saltwater tank or your brackish tank, or you can grow them in your freshwater tank. Just do these. Make sure you have some light above. And then just grow these like you would Lucky Bamboo or your pothos or whatever else that you're growing, above water. So, anyways, that's red mangrove. These are way bigger than they usually come in. Um, Again, I might pull these off the website just because they're going to be a bitch to ship. Sometimes shipping stuff that's oversized, I mean, oversized stuff, even though it might not weigh a lot, costs way, way more to ship. I know I shipped some boxes last year. I brought in a bunch of pond plants that were like big, like really big, and I had to go out and buy special boxes for it. And then if you guys ever have to buy boxes, I'll just let you know that certain size boxes are not cheap. So I had to buy some boxes, and then the package ended up being oversized for the post office. So there's an additional, I call it a tax, but there's an additional fee. So oversized fee on top of that, and it took all the profit out of even bothering with it. So it was a lot of time and no money. So I learned my lesson and not order such big plants. If I had a local fish store or a nursery up here, then that's no problem because you guys are coming to buy them locally, put it in your car and drive home. But when I gotta bring it in and ship it back out, it gets expensive. So it really does. So, all right. These are all potted. All right. Well, let's look. This is Crypt Pink Flamingo. So this is not a tissue culture. These are actually pink flamingo that are grown at their nursery. Let me just tear it from the bottom. So you're getting a plant that's not tissue culture. These are Cryptocrine Pink Flamingo. I will probably pot these up and sell them in the pot. And if you guys don't know what a pot is, I'm just looking to see. When I say I pot them up, is they're going to go in a 2-inch net pot with the rock wool insert. So then that's what you'll get with the rock wool. I don't have no rock wool right next to me, or else I'd show you what that is. But most of the people I think that are watching right now are familiar with what pots and rock wool are. But that's Pink Flamingo. Hey, what's up, Bill Wizzle? I see someone saying hi to him. I have an order for him going out today too, which is cool. Cool. You guys that send us orders and support us, it's so appreciated. This is what we do for a living. This ain't a side job for KJE, so this is what we do. We sell plants and we sell aquarium products. Again, it's what I enjoy doing. So I'm going to try to do it as long as I can afford to do it. Right, these aren't so big. Some are bigger than others. But this is water sprite. And then this is the water sprite Indian fern. All right, I haven't gotten these in a while. The nursery sells these rooted, as you can see here. I'm handling it. These are more delicate. The nursery grows these rooted, but this plant you can grow floating no problem. This is typically a fast-growing plant, which is good for fry cover and controlling excess nutrients in your tank. So this is a dozen plants right here, so you're not getting all of this. But this is water sprite Indian fern. All right. I actually got more plants than I thought. More than I thought. Oh, here we go. This is Jungle Vallisneria species red, and I'm going to just reiterate from what I always say. This plant is not red. They call it species red because it's a jungle val species, but this variant under higher light will get like a reddish hue in the leaves, but it doesn't need higher light. right? And sometimes grown under Mr. Sunshine, towards the top of the leaves, you'll get a reddish hue. But I like it better versus regular jungle val because typically the blade width, the leaf is a little bit more wider. But it's one of my I like that versus I usually don't get regular jungle val unless they don't have any species red. That one costs more, but I like it better. So, anyways, what's up, Gina? All right, wait on that one. Oh. Here is one of the crypts that I like that actually to me doesn't look like a crypt. These are smaller, but these actually get pretty big. This is Cryptocrine pontidifolia. In my opinion, this crypt looks more like a sword plant just because of the way the leaves are. The leaves will get bigger and they have more of a wider blade versus a lot of the other crypt species. But this is Cryptocrine pontidifolia. If I say that right, I might be butchering it. But these are a really nice crypt. They'll actually get pretty big. And I don't grow a lot of them. I have a few growing, but I have like a lot of people saying this plant compared to other plants is very prolific and it grows faster versus some of the other crypts. So Crypt pontidifolia. And again, it'll get much bigger than that. It'll get, that's man inches, so that's I don't know. That's a foot, maybe 8 inches to 12 inches. So, oh hey, if Mexicali is still here, I told you that Cryptobalance wasn't available on the list, but many times what I do when I order plants, even though I get the availability list from the nursery and I see what's on it. Sometimes there's stuff that's saying that they're out of stock. I don't know if the nursery just likes me or I think they do. But if they have some plants, I'll put them on my list anyways. I put it on my order. And then sometimes they have some and they'll fill my order. Even though they might pull it off of the list because they don't want, 200 orders going in asking for the same plant where they might only have a dozen plants. So they'll pull it off the list. But anyways, long story short is Jorge ordered some Cryptocrine Balance from me and I told him I didn't have enough to fill his order. He wanted a couple and I had one. So this is one of the plants that I told him I would order in. And then when I got my list, I had to contact him and I was like, shit. I was like, there's no Balance this week. So I ordered in a different crypt that we were going to sub. But I put this on my list anyways, and the nursery filled it, which is pretty cool. So I do have Crypt Balance. So yay for that. And this is a really nice looking crypt. They'll get tall. You get like this, they'll get tall. The blade width, the leaf width is about the same as like jungle val. They grow slower than val, obviously, but you get like a texture to the leaf, so you get like a little crinkle to the leaf. It looks really cool. Looks really cool. Mucho culo. All right. Next up is here's one. All right. I say I usually don't order in hard plants, but I get requests for this one. If you're successful with this plant, so Jenna, if you're still here, ask Steven if he does this one or ask Myrtle, because this is actually a hard-ass plant. This is Hygrophila pinnatifida, if I say that right. The only way I've grown this successfully is immersed. But obviously you can grow this plant submerged. This is not an easy plant, but if you're up to the task and you want a challenge, you're going to need CO2, all right? You're going to need CO2. You're going to need decent lighting. So I'll just let you know that from the start. So if you try to put this in a low-tech, low-light tank with your Anubias and your Java Fern, you're just gonna waste your money. Um, this is not an easy plant, but if you can get it to grow, it's like it's super cool looking. Um, this showing you this right here out of the bag is not doing it justice. But this Hygrophila pinnatifida, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but hard plant. I had someone request it, so I brought some in. Um, but they obviously, I got to place a minimum order, so I have to order minimum of 12 when I order stem plants. So I had to order 12. They only wanted a couple, so I put the rest on the website. And I'll probably take these to the upcoming auction or the swap I have coming up the following week. So, anyways, if you're up to the challenge, you want to challenge yourself. This is a cool plant. You can grow it immersed, so you can stick this in the back of your HOB or your cup or whatever that you have clipped to the top of your tank, your potho carrier or whatever, and you can grow this immersed. It'll flower for you too. It gets like a little cool little purple flower. But I've grown it successfully immersed, and that's all I got to say about that one. All right. Mucho culo. Mucho gudo. It's good. Yeah. All right, next up. These are Anubias fraseri, but they're on the website as assorted large Anubias. But yeah, these are some nice pieces. Anubias fraseri, however you want to say it. These have some nice pieces of rhizome, as you can see right there. That's the rhizome. And you can see here too. But these are just listed as assorted. So Anubias, large assorted. Just know that if you get them, you're going to get fraseri this week. So, all right. Fraseri. I don't know how to say it. Okay, so that was the big ones. And now here's the medium ones. So this is assorted Anubias medium. And it looks like they sent me, I think this is Nancon. This one's fraseri. Maybe Congensis. I just ordered these in. There's so many varieties of Anubias. When I stock them on the website, I stock assorted. Maybe it's not the best way to do it, but it's easier for me. If there's a particular Anubias species that you're after, message me, let me know. We also I have them in stock still from last time. These are on the more rare side right here. This is Anubias Nana Golden. These are really, really nice. Have a light colored green leaf. But these are on the website already, Anubias Nana Golden. Like I said, that's previous stock. So, what you're seeing today being unboxed is not all I have. We have other stuff in stock, from previous orders. Anyways, next up is a plant that you either love or you hate. I actually love it. This is hornwort. Some people absolutely despise this plant, but that's your problem, not mine. You either love it or you hate it. Hornwort. Super fast growing plant. I don't know if it's endemic to the Northeast or not, but I can tell you for sure that it grows wild in the Northeast, so I'm sure it grows wild in the South too. So it's good for your ponds. It's good for your tanks. It's a fast growing plant. Provides a lot of cover for your fry. So there's a lot of pros for it. So the con for it is some people, if it likes you, it's going to reward you. If it don't like you, then a lot of times these are like little pine needles here, and they'll start shedding these pine needles. Some people don't like that all over their tank. Just do a water change. supposed to do them anyways. So maybe that gives you an excuse to do a vacuum and a water change. So anyways, hornwort, super popular with people that like to breed fish. All right, you know, depending on the species of fish, obviously. So, all right. Next up is Italian Balacenaria. These finally look good. I got some in a couple weeks ago. The last order was okay, but the ones prior to that looked like absolute dog shit. These ones actually look good because I kind of bitched at them because I told them, I was like, don't waste my time, don't waste your time putting crappy looking plants in the bag and sending it to me and then just giving me credit. I was like, it's kind of disheartening when I open a bag of plants and they obviously are bad. But these are actually pretty nice looking little plants, and they have like several leaves off of one root base. So these are actually pretty nice. So Italian Balacenaria, also known as Balacenaria spiralis, and don't get your hopes up high that, you know, you hear the word spiralis that they're going to grow in a spiral shape. I don't know who named it, but the Balacenaria spiralis grow pretty darn straight. So, Tucker's Species TV, what's up? And somebody's having a hard. Gina says she pulled all the hornwort out of the shrimp tank and put it in the cichlid tank. Yeah, some people like it, some people hate it. I love hornwort too, especially for tubs like you say. If you guys set up tubs, get some hornwort, throw some hornwort in the tub. It's going to provide, it's an oxygenator for the tub. So just what it says right there, it's going to help oxygenate the water. It's going to provide shade. It's going to provide a food source for like Infusoria. It's going to provide hideouts for your fry too. So when I do tubs outdoors, my intention is to breed the fish that I put in those tubs. And I do different types of fish. I do Danios, I do live bears, I do, what else did I do? So I did swordtails, I did a couple species of Danio, I did some Uridinus metallicus, which is a live bear. I've done American flagfish. I've done some barbs. I've done a few different things. I haven't done any cichlids outdoors. I haven't tried cichlids, but I know some people that do. But anyways, the plants provide a lot of benefits for the tank or for the tub. You know, one being fry cover, so all the fry don't get eat up, because I really don't pull a lot of fry during the summer unless I see them and they're easily to get, like the little CPDs and stuff. If I see some at the surface, sometimes I'll net them off. But overall, it's survival of the fittest until the end of the season. So I do look how the leaves in a hornwort turn a bluish green. Oh yeah, or grow towards the surface, Gina. You'll get like a reddish, purplish looking color when the light's real good at the tips of the plants. All right, next up is, and these are big, so I don't hear that much either. So these are actually called dwarf water onions. Absolutely cool looking plant. So, and it gets its name from the base, because obviously it looks like an onion, but there's some big ones in here. There's some little ones in here. So you may get a big one. You may get a little one. But when you plant these, you don't necessarily need to bury the whole bulb. You could plant like maybe like a quarter to 3/8 of the bulb, push the roots down in the substrate. Relatively easy plant. I've grown these and had them successfully flower in my 20-gallon longs before. This obviously is much taller than a 20 long, but they will fan out over the top. So you could plant this in just about any tank. 40 breeder, 20 long, 20 tall. 75s might be a little deep for this, or 55 might be a little deep. But depending on the lighting. So it's all dependent on lighting. I don't have like any fancy light. So I'm more successful personally in a more shallow tank. So I love the 40 breeder just because of the depth of the tank is not like overly deep. And I love 20 longs versus the 20 tall personally. But, you know, you do what you do. It's your tank. But anyways, you can check these out on the website. I have a picture with a flower that this produces. That's actually my picture of some that flowered for me before. So they will flower. I suggest if you buy these, you know, it's your dollar, so do what you want. Buy a few of them. Don't buy just one. It gives like a real nice grass looking look to the tank. Obviously, if you're in the spending mood, buy them all. But when people just buy one, and then depending on the stock levels I have, you might just get this one. You know, I don't intentionally give this small ones, but if this is the last one I have in stock and you buy just one, you might get this little bitty one. And it's not that it's bad. It's a good plant. You get what you pay for, but they look better in a bigger group is what I'm trying to say. But anyways, and it kind of cracks me up is a dwarf water onion. And I get these commonly, but this is probably the biggest batch that I've received from the nursery so far. Sometimes that happens. It goes in spurts. It goes in spurts on what I sell. I could sell the shit out of those this week and then order some in next week and not sell any for a month. And that happens at the nursery too. Sometimes, you know, they're growing them, so they're getting bigger and bigger. Sometimes I get, you know, like those Crypt Pontridifolia. Those are smaller than I've gotten in the past for the same price. So maybe they had a run on them where they were popular for a bunch of retailers. Who knows? So, anyways. All right. Next up. And I ordered this one in because I supposedly wasn't going to get the Balancea. So I got a bonus crypt. This is Cryptocarine spiralis. And I don't stock it a lot of times. I know Dee bought some. I had some Crypt spiralis tiger, which is, it's the same genus. The only difference between regular Crypt spiralis and the tiger is the tiger has like, it's kind of speckled with some splotches. But the regular spiralis, which is what this is it stays more on the greenish side. But it's a long crypt. It's kind of similar looking to Vallisneria, if I were to describe it. This is a more expensive crypt compared to some of the other ones. So this one cost, like the base cost of Crypt spiralis is like much more than a Crypt Wenti green. So anyways, that's Crypt spiralis. It's a really nice crypt. I'm not sure where to put these. I'm really not. Let's put them over. Shit, bro. Running out of space there, buddy. Okay. All right. Next up, Amazon swords. This is the OG of the sword plants. Not my favorite, but I don't care. People ask for them, so I get them. Amazon swords plants. Again, this is probably the original sword in the hobby. These will get pretty big. You have there's some in this group right here that's actually flowering. That's right there is going to produce little plantlets right there. Not all of them have that, but Amazon swords, they're on the website. They stay kind of greenish looking as you see right here. Um, they will get pretty big. I don't suggest you put one of these in a 5-gallon tank. Um, so I would say a 20 or bigger. Um, Unless you want to just grow it out for a while and then move it, you can do whatever you want. But as permanent home, I would say in like a 20 tall or a 20 tall or bigger for its permanent home. I got more plants than I thought. I got a fatter build than I expected too. Next up. Didi says Amazon swords have a place. Make a tank look full for a little bit of the money. Yeah, that's true. They're not expensive compared to some of the other swords, and you're right. So, and then everybody has their likes on what they like, which is good. That's what makes us all different. So you get what you like. Um, my comment about not personally like them doesn't have to reflect on what you like. I bring them in because people ask me for them, because they like them, and so that's what we do. All right, I'm holding these little dookie balls gently because some of them are actually sprouted already. This one got tallywhacker on it. Didi likes that word tallywhacker. This little peony right here, that is the start of Tiger Lotus. So that's the Tiger Lotus peony right there, right? And then that one's already ready for sale as a sprouted bulb because it is. We buy these as bulbs. There's another one. There's another one right there. You can see it. That's already sprouted. But we buy these as the bulbs. We take the risk. We don't ship these out until they start to sprout. And then as they grow as they go from a sprout to a small to a medium to a large, then the price is adjusted. But when you get Tiger Lotus from us, you always get the bulb with the plant. I've seen other people like sell these just the plant without the bulb. To me, that's kind of bogus. Because once this grows out a plant, you could not always, but more times than not, you could harvest like a plant or a piece of the plant. You can't do a stem cut. It has like some roots growing, but you could harvest just the plant, and then it'll continue to grow without the bulb, and then the bulb can produce more plants. But we buy this and we sell it, with the bulb. So whether you buy a large Tiger Lotus, medium Tiger Lotus, it's going to come with the bulb that plant sprouted from. So, anyways, yeah, Didi laughing. Told you. I told you. Told you about the tallywhacker. Okay. Oh no. I dropped one. Okay. All right. Next up, and we're almost done. Looks like that bag is empty. So next up is just some stuff that I bought pre-potted. Now, we pot stuff. I don't smoke, so I don't pot a bong or a pipe, but I pot plants. So, like I said, we pot some stuff, but we buy some stuff that's pre-potted as well. Depending on what it is. I don't always, but it depends on the species. Like pearlweed, I usually buy pearlweed, and I have some in stock too. Hold on, I'll show you. But I buy pearlweed potted because it's a really small little plant, like a bunch. This is a bunch of plants. So to deal with this bare rooted as a retailer is a pain in the butt. So I get it from the nursery potted, so it keeps the clump together. It just makes it so much easier for retail. Now, when you buy this, then you got to get your tweezers, and I recommend tweezers. We sell those too, but you can get them wherever. We just have it for convenience. But I recommend getting a good pair of tweezers when you deal with something like pearlweed, unless you're gonna just float it. So pearlweed's pretty cool in that It's versatile. You could plant this and keep it trimmed down as a foreground plant. You could plant it and then just leave it alone, and it's going to grow taller and bushier, so you could use it as a mid-ground plant. Or you could just let it float, and it'll float around and then just grow. So it'll do whatever you want. So this is a yes man plant. So Pearl Weed is a yes man. It just does whatever you tell it to. So, all right, that's my story on that one. Now let's get into what's in these pots, and some of them are the same, so I'm not gonna undo it all. But this is dwarf Sagittaria, and then what I told you about the leaf again. So this is submerged grown, but dwarf Sag is just like its cousin, the Sagittarius subdilatanero, is one of the easiest plants to grow, to convert, and to grow. Some people hate this plant because they say it takes a lot of maintenance to just keep thinning it out, because once it gets established, it likes to grow. It really does. And then some people say it's invasive on their tanks, meaning that they have to do a lot of trimming and weeding to keep it in the spot that they want, because it's going to want to spread out. But that's a good thing for some. This plant actually, if you're into going to local club auctions, you can grow this plant out, harvest some for the auction, pull some plantlets up. This is a really good seller at your club auctions. So this is, if you're looking to farm some easy plants, just for your clubs, your club auctions, or maybe your club swaps, this is definitely one that's easy to do. So that's dwarf Sagittaria. We got I think 6 of those here, and then I got this up. I had someone local request some of this, and we normally stock it, so I didn't mind bringing it in, but I didn't have any stock last week, and he requested it. This is Micro Sword Narrow Leaf. So Ken, if you're watching, I got a few pots, so you can get them on the website now. It's uploaded. This is Micro Sword Narrow Leaf. A lot of times people like to, they see Escape where it's done by professionals with dwarf hairgrass. Dwarf hairgrass to me is pretty hard. It might be easier for some more advanced plant keepers, but I've been keeping plants a long time, but it doesn't mean I'm into the high tech stuff. So I consider myself still a novice keeping plants, just because I stayed on the low tech side. So people sometimes they know I've been in the hobby a long time. They also know that I kept plants and sell plants for a long time. It doesn't mean I'm a plant expert with all types of aquarium plants. I can give you suggestions. I can give you advice on the low tech side, but I also know from my experience, maybe yours is different, that certain plants don't work well on the low tech side. So I like dwarf hairgrass, Monte Carlo for me, some of this Triparita, something, the little, I forget, 4-leaf clover. None of that's ever done good for me because it kind of, and some of the stem plants. So a lot of your stem plants need higher light to be successful, and so I'm not really good with them. So, anyways, that's all the plants I have. I don't even know how long I've been rambling. Oh, right in an hour. Yeah, Hydrocotyle Triparita, Japan. Yeah, it's a cool-looking little clover plant, but I always suck with it, Jenna. So, and you're right. DD hairgrass is a pain in the butt. So, a lot of times people will ask me for it. I don't stock it. I can get it. So if people are really set on dwarf hairgrass or some other plants that I don't have in stock or even listed, but you want to try them, feel free to reach out to me because I can get most anything. But I usually stock what what will be successful for the masses. You know what I mean? So that's usually what I stock. Now, when I told you that the Hygrophila pinifida, that one I tried several times just because I tried to challenge myself, because the reward is you get a badass plant. And then so the last time that I grew it, I didn't try growing it submerged. I just grew it immersed, and I was successful. And it grew for about 6 months, and it flowered for me. And then I don't know what happened, and it all wilted away and died. So I'll try it again. I might take one of those bunches because I had to order a dozen, and I only have a couple sold. I might take one of those bunches and then try doing it immersed again. So we'll see. I just stick it in the back of my 55. I have a 55 gallon that's growing a shit ton of plants out the top. I'm looking right now. You can see it up here. But I got Potho up there. I have I got a couple different types of Potho, and then I have some Lucky Bamboo. I have some Arrowheads which is just Sigonium, but I don't know the particular species. It's just Sigonium species. I forget what else I have up there. I have some spider plant, so your household spider plant. I have a couple little shoots that I stuck in there. It's growing. I don't know what else. You see this. The word of the day is tallywhacker. So this is Lucky Bamboo right here that's just growing out, and it's trying to get to the light above. So anyways, that's what I got. And now I got to get busy packing orders that I didn't have enough to fill last week. But let me see. We haven't had much luck with hairgrass, even in highlight CO2. Yeah, so this is a good. It doesn't grow the same, Jenna, but it has kind of like a similar look. It grows taller, but this is actually not a sword plant. I'm looking right here on the tag. It's a Lila Eopsis. Lila Eopsis, if I say that right. But it just says species, so I don't know the exact species. I can look it up from the nursery at the nursery on the paperwork. It will have the exact species. But this has a similar look. So when people ask me about hairgrass, I tell them I can get it, just like I tell you guys here. But then I also tell them why I don't stock it. That there's other plants that may have a similar look that are actually maybe easier for them. So, Eduardo, yeah, tallywhacker. That's the word of the day. That might be it, Jenna. It's not on the tag on the plant here, but it's on my paperwork from the nursery. So that's probably it. But the common name is microsword narrow leaf. All right. Yeah, I gave up on it, Dee Dee. But you know what? There is a hairgrass, not the dwarf hairgrass, but the giant hairgrass. Looks more like these. It's a little bit, the leaf is a little bit more narrow versus this. So the giant hairgrass, I've been successful with the giant hairgrass, and it'll get tall like this too. So it'll get more than a foot. And again, the leaf, the blade width on the leaf is more narrow than this. So it's a cool looking grass plant. But I think the dwarf water onions are cooler, just because I said so. But anyways. My hands are wet now. So, Elite Menagerie. Hope you all have a great week. Oh, yeah, sure. I hope they do well for you. And thanks for popping in. And I think I'm going to go too, guys. Again, you can find what I uploaded on the website at kjeaquatics.com. we got a pretty good haul. I didn't have anything that I got to call the nursery about, so everything looks good. So nothing's rejected here. Um, oh, let me mention this too. I see this question on Facebook all the time. People are actually looking for duckweed. So if you're ever wanting duckweed, like intentionally wanting duckweed, shoot me a message. We give it out. There's other retailers that actually charge for it. And if you don't believe me, go look at some of them and they'll have duckweed listed for a price, which I understand, it takes time to collect it and bag it. You got to pay for that time in the bag. But me here at KJE, if you ever want duckweed intentionally, reach out to me and I will give you some. I know some people actually look for it to feed their goldfish and whatnot. So it's free. It's free here. So, hey, Mel. So, anyways, Table Man Stan. Where's Table Man Stan is my buddy Jake. Some of you guys know Jake. So he wants to know where D's nuts are. Thanks, Jeff. And again, I said this 5 minutes ago that I was going, and now I really am because I have boxes to pack and plants to put away. And I actually got to work today. Kind of sucks, but that's part of it. And it's work I actually like doing, like I was bitching about in the beginning of the stream. Is I do this not for the money, but for the glory, because there ain't no money in it. But we like it, and I'm the boss. So, anyways, peace out, guys.